So I'm the producer of Sorrel liqueur. It is made from Moroccan hibiscus, Nigerian ginger, Indonesian cinnamon and nutmeg, Brazilian clove, and organic grain alcohol. It's based on a recipe from the Caribbean that's 400 years old, but nobody ever put it in a bottle before. I'm the first. Every single Caribbean family has their own recipe, and everyone thinks they make the best version. But what's interesting is every island does it differently based on local horticulture. For example, if you went to Jamaica, they would do hibiscus flowers with orange peel and allspice and cardamom and rum, because everything in Jamaica is rum. If you went deeper into the spice route, Trinidad and Tobago, they had South American influence and East Indian influence, so they would do hibiscus flowers with cinnamon and ginger and nutmeg, but no alcohol. The Trinidadians are not big drinkers. My grandparents came from Barbados. There was rum in everything. So my version has a little bit of what all of the islands do well. I was actually doing a version of this at home for friends and family for almost 20 years. Parties, barbecues, I never thought twice about it. I was working in magazine publishing, and 5 years ago I had a cancer scare. My doctor found a tumor the size of a golf ball inside my spine, and he said, "You have a 95% chance of death and a 50% chance of paralysis if you live. You should probably get your paperwork together." So I had the surgery and I lived, but it changed my perspective on things. Given a second chance, I thought to myself, I really want to do something that matters to me every day around people I care about. And the thing that matters to me is drinking.
So there is no other options to do. It's just...
This is a terrific thing to do every day of your life, to know that I will spend my days around people that are great to be around. There'll be good conversation, there'll be good food, there'll be a good drink, and we'll make money at it. If you were to go to the Caribbean, traditionally what happens is you will see children walking home from school picking hibiscus flowers as they go. It's like dandelions, they're everywhere. The children get home from school and they make iced tea, so they have something to drink while they do their homework. The adults put the kids to sleep, and then they put rum in the tea, and then it's a party. So my method is not much different than the traditional way. I take my botanicals and I make the biggest pot of tea you've ever seen, and then I put booze in my tea. We filter it, we bottle it, we label it, and then we start all over again. There are essentially two ways of extracting essential oils from botanicals. You can do a maceration, which is a fancy word for soak things in alcohol, or you can do a water extraction, which is a fancy word for boil it. I take my botanicals and I boil them so that all of the essential oils are set in the water, and then I take that base fluid, which is highly concentrated, and I add just enough alcohol to make this. It creates a chemical reaction. There is material that's floating around in the tea which reacts to the alcohol and bonds to it, and it's called polysaccharides. We take out the polysaccharides, and what's left is beautiful and crisp and clear and shelf stable. I did this at home for so many years just for friends and family. So for me, every time someone discovers it, it's like I have new friends and family. I've got friends and family all over the world now. So we do lots of events, maybe 10 or 15 a month. We host parties at bars. We host events for charity. we go into liquor stores and we let people sample the product just by itself. Uh, Next week, we're doing an event with a bunch of restaurants where they're coming out with their best bacon. And we will be able to serve cocktails for people to wash down the bacon with. So the big thing we do is we try to go where people are and let them try it for themselves. I actually designed this bottle myself, and it wasn't for aesthetic reasons at first. It was a financial reason. When I put the package together, I found out I could get an original design for half the price of a stock bottle. So I decided to design it myself. So I spent a lot of time in liquor stores, not buying anything, they hated me, trying to figure out what the most successful packages were. And what I thought is it had to be a certain height, so it would be the tallest thing on the shelf and still fit, and a certain weight, so you could pick it up over and over again without it causing fatigue. So I knew it had to be the weight and the height, but then I said, what does it look like? So I did some research on antique glass, and I found on eBay a 100-year-old cologne bottle, which was beautiful, but about this big. I brought it into Photoshop, I made it the right height, I rounded out the shoulders, and I sent that to my CAD designer, and I said, that is my bottle, give me a mechanical drawing. The label is interesting because the CAD designer told me that this bottle would never be able to be labeled. It has complex X and Y curvature. So to get a label to lay flat is tricky. The solution was to have a vertical label with a flare out in the middle to force people phonetically to say Sorel. I actually spent about 20 years as a designer. I'd never designed bottles before,
Right.
but I'm crazy and I don't know what I can't do.
You don't compromise, so.
No compromise.
Yeah.
There's I love it and nothing else. No. No, not friendly with him at all.
Right.
Actually had to tell him. He told me my bottle could not be done, and I said, your problems bore me, dazzle me with solutions. And the solution was a vertical label. My neighbors are my family. Red Hook is a tiny little town inside of a great big city. Everyone knows everybody else. Everyone watches everyone's back. We take care of each other. Hurricane Sandy destroyed my business 6 months in. We didn't see a dime of insurance money. We didn't see a dime of disaster relief. My neighbors helped me rebuild, and I helped them rebuild. It was a terrific testament to how great human beings can be. And people ask me if I will leave Red Hook if things go well, and the answer is I'm never leaving. Leaving Red Hook would be like leaving a woman who had been good to me. I only want to give back to my community. They have treated me with kindness and dignity and respect, and I want to give as much as I can back to the community that supports me. I keep a very long day. Typically, my day starts at about 5 a.m., where I start to answer my emails and do my media outreach. By 7 o'clock in the morning, I take my shower and I head down here. I probably spend about 6 hours a day in the distillery doing whatever needs to be done. Some days we're bottling, some days we're labeling, some days we're making products, some days we're just cleaning. If I finish by the distillery by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I go and I do sales calls. So I will go to places that do not have my product yet and let them try it and teach them how to use it. By 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I do what we call market support. I'll go to the places that already have my product. I'll buy a drink, I'll buy a meal, I'll leave a tip, and I say thank you. Thank you for supporting me. If I'm lucky, I get home by 10 o'clock at night. I spend a couple of hours and I do my paperwork, my invoicing, my billing, and then I start all over again. When I worked for somebody else, I always felt like I was working too hard. Now that I work for myself, it never feels like I'm working hard enough. I love what I do, and I get to be around great people every single day. So I definitely complain less now, even though I work much more. We're in the process of bringing in more people as I can afford to pay them. I would do this. I did this for years because I loved it. Whether or not I make a lot of money at this, I will continue to do this because I love it. And the people I get to be around every single day, I love them. It's not that I don't want to make a lot of money, but really what I want to do is make a good life. The hardest part is paperwork. There's always so much paperwork. Everyone wants me to fill out this and that and the other. I would love to be able to just come in here and do the hard physical labor, but if I don't spend time in front of a computer doing the paperwork, nothing else gets done. Really, how I like to drink Sorel depends on the weather. Today is a beautiful sunny day. So I would drink this on ice with a slice of lemon, maybe with a little sparkling soda. If it was cold out, we serve it hot with a slice of lime. Delicious. I came as close to dying as anyone gets to. I got a really good look at what it would be like if I wasn't here anymore. So the things I need to make me happy nowadays, it's a very short list. I want to wake up in the morning, play with my cat, call my mom, kiss the pretty girl, and have a drink with somebody. If I do those things, that makes me happy. There's a lot of other things involved. There's paperwork, there's taxes. It's a lot of work, but it's very fulfilling. And my motivation is I get to do something I love with people I care about, and that's enough. I think the cancer scare was my wake-up call. And I wish everyone could wake up. This is one life, and you have one chance, and nothing is promised, and you don't know if you have tomorrow. If there's something you need to say or do, say it and do it now. Sometimes tomorrow never comes.